Following a story that we were reporting on earlier tonight, the Marion County Health Department concerned about some big crowds gathered here in Indianapolis, folks not wearing masks, not practicing social distancing. We're going to be checking in with a friend of the show, Emily Longnecker, who's out in front of Bankers Life Fieldhouse, coming up in a moment. We're also going to take a look at one of the big Cinderella stories of this tournament, Oral Roberts getting it done, knocking off a couple of big name schools, heading into the Sweet 16. So we'll be talking about Oral Roberts tonight. We'll get with Dave and Taylor, find out about that. But first of all, want to welcome in Angela, who is in complete command of the 13 News at 11 NCAA bracket, because, my friend, you've still got teams playing, don't you?
I do. My final two are Baylor and Gonzaga.
Yeah. Well,
so Thaddeus, you have Gonzaga, and who else?
Yeah, our director, Thaddeus.
Oh, Illinois.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's out. So I have one more than him.
I think you're going to win.
And you're done.
Oh, I'm done. I had two brackets. Ohio State, I tore that up here on 13 on the Facebook Live program on Friday night. And then when Illinois went down, that was the champion in my other bracket. So I gave up. So I'm going to watch you and Thaddeus battle it out to the better end.
How did you go against Sister Jean? I just say, how did you?
You know, Loyola is a terrific team so far. They've done pretty well.
Yeah.
And you know, the Oral Roberts story, that's another great story. And we'll be getting to that coming up in a little bit. But we do want to talk about the weather, because beautiful weekend, lots of sunshine, warm temps, and today was dry and pretty pleasant as well.
Yeah, not bad. Temperatures middle and upper 60s, even with the cloud cover. Had a nice south wind. No rain today, but you're going to need to dig out the umbrellas for the next couple of days. I'm not calling the week a washout, but there will be some pockets of steadier rain from time to time, and the first round arrives during the day tomorrow. So this is Future Track 13. A few showers as early as out the door tomorrow morning. This is 8 a.m. Is this going to be a widespread heavy rain all day? No. So if you've got some outdoor plans or need an hour or two of dry weather, best advice is to take us along with you, that live Doppler 13 weather app. You can check radar before those outdoor plans, because I do think we get some dry hours in between the morning showers and then some pockets of heavier rain and maybe a couple of thunderstorms late in the day tomorrow. But it is going to be another warm one with temperatures back into the middle and upper 60s, even with clouds, and a pretty good chance for some off and on rain and storms. So not a washout, but we get the rain and storm potential tomorrow, dry Wednesday, rain, and we may have some really strong winds in here late Thursday into early Friday, and that would be Storm System 3 that we're tracking this week. So pretty busy in the weather department.
Yeah, you bet. And we've got a lot of Facebook friends hanging out with us tonight. Sandy saying, hi guys, watching from Milroy. Sandra says, love the warm weather.
Oh, me too.
Terry says, hello from Plainfield tonight. Jill is with us from Wisconsin. She's a longtime Hoosier. And Monica says, hi Scott and Angela. And so we've got lots of Facebook friends joining us tonight.
Excellent. Well, hello everyone. And yes, I'm with you. The weekend was fantastic.
Yeah, you know what? I got too much sun.
It's surprising, isn't it?
The TV makeup is really protecting some of the sunburn that I got.
Oh.
We went out to lunch on Sunday, sat outside, and you know, I didn't really think about sunscreen being here in the middle of March, but I needed it on Sunday, and so I think it's an important reminder that when we do get a sunny day, put on the sunscreen, no matter if it's March or the middle of August.
Sure,
you know?
Sure. And yes, Mark played golf and got a little too much sun himself, I think, this weekend.
Yeah. Well, thank goodness for the TV makeup. That takes the burn right out of it. All right, Angela, we'll get back to you in a minute. We do want to move on, though, in our Facebook Live program tonight and talk a little bit about March Madness. How's your bracket doing? Most brackets not doing real well. The biggest fan of St. Bonaventure joining us live tonight outside Bankers Life Fieldhouse. I tease you, that's your hometown team, right, Emily?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm from Pennsylvania, but St. Bonaventure is just right over the border in New York State. So as a kid, we would always drive up and watch the game. So I'm always excited when they are in the tournament. They're not anymore. Yeah. So
right. Well, they made the tournament, and that's all. That's all that you cared about, was just that they got to Indianapolis and were able to dance at least for a little bit. So the story that you're covering tonight is this idea that in terms of March Madness and all the basketball fans that are converging here in central Indiana, you know, over the weekend we saw some big crowds on Mass Ave, a lot of people gathering, you know, without masks congregating. And I think there was this worry from the Marion County Health Department that maybe there were some people that may not be paying attention to the pandemic rules. And so tell us a little bit about your story.
Yeah, we saw a video that was widely shared of people at the Bottle Works District, fans, and they were watching the games on big screens there in the right there off of Mass Ave. And Ange talking about how great the weather was this weekend, and I think that brought a lot of people out. So in that video, you saw not a lot of social distancing as the night went on, masks coming off, this sort of thing. So the Marion County Health Department issued a release today talking about, that they were doing spot checks over the weekends to make sure that businesses, restaurants, bars were following safety protocols. They ended up issuing a violation to the Bottle Works District for that event, but talked to a spokesperson tonight from the health department, and they said, look, by Sunday, when they hosted another event outside again, people were following the rules much better. But they said that there could be 3 other violations coming for some other businesses. They weren't able to tell me which ones tonight. They're going to be putting on more staff in the coming weeks because they are going to be going around and doing these spot checks to make sure businesses are being safe and following the rules. So saying tonight, the spokesperson saying tonight, they're not trying to be killjoys, but they do have to do their jobs and make sure people are following all the safety precautions.
And Em, what are you seeing just as you're out and about over the weekend tonight? What are you seeing in terms of people paying attention to these rules or not paying attention?
I mean, it's a mixture, right? Tonight we saw some people wearing their masks, some people not wearing their masks. I mean, we're outside of Bankers Life tonight, fans of Alabama and Maryland inside. So right now it's not very crowded, so can't really get a sense, of what people are doing right now. But tonight when we were in the Bottle Works District, we saw a lot of people wearing their masks. And this weekend it was really a mix of both. And if you look at that video, you can definitely see. I talked to one guy tonight, and his thing was, as the day progressed and the drinking continued, people got a little comfortable, masks came off. So there it is, and they got a violation for it.
Right. Okay, Emily. Well, we're going to see you tonight on 13 News at 11 o'clock. Enjoy the nice weather that we're having tonight. It's nice and mild because tomorrow it's going to be some rain about this time. So thanks so much, Emily.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to see Emily as part of our 13 News big story tonight at 11 o'clock, following up on the Marion County Health Department. The other thing that we want to point out, the governor of the state of Indiana, Eric Holcomb, has a 5:30 announcement tomorrow. It's a speech where he's going to be talking about the fight against COVID-19. Now, this is something that we don't typically see. We usually see the governor Wednesday afternoons at 2:30. So tomorrow night at 5:30, he's going to be talking about new steps in this fight against COVID-19. We don't have any word yet on what the governor may end up saying tomorrow. But Angela, I think it's going to be interesting to sort of pay attention to that news conference tomorrow. What will the governor be talking about? I think, when you hold a news conference and say that the speech is probably going to go 30 minutes, it's going to be very interesting to watch.
Yes, because if it's, a 5-minute speech about what's coming up and there's question answer, or is it 30 minutes and I've got a lot to say,
right?
In what we would consider somewhat prime time, because as a news station, we're on at 5:30.
Sure.
So we will be airing that tomorrow at 5:30. So it will be interesting, you're right, to see what he has to say, if we're taking different steps, if he thinks we're moving in the right direction, if we're moving in the right direction but still cautious. Maybe he addresses the crowds for March Madness.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is going to be very interesting because I think just as we're sort of looking at, in terms of some of the things that have taken place, most of the big announcements that the governor has made, he's made at the COVID-19 updates on Wednesday afternoon. I mean, when we're talking the mask mandate, when we're talking about the various things that have taken place, those have all come on those Wednesday 2:30 calls. So to do something Tuesday 5:30 in the midst of March Madness, with the race a couple of months away, is he going to be talking about what's happening in Miami? Because, one of the stories that came out of Miami was the big crowds down there on South Beach, and they've got an 8 p.m. curfew beginning on Thursday night because there were just too many people on South Beach. So it'll be interesting to see what the governor has to say, and of course we'll be streaming it tomorrow along our platforms and covering it on 13 News.
And at 5:30, he may be wanting to reach the majority of the people.
True.
At 2:30 or 2, whatever it is on every Wednesday that this has been going on for, a year.
Right.
Not everybody is home, not everybody is in front of a TV or can get in front of a TV, even though there are other ways to get it streaming and online and things like that.
Sure.
He may just wanted to get as many eyes as he possibly could. Maybe that's why he chose 5:30.
Right. One of the big stories, of course, here in the NCAA men's basketball tournament has been the upsets. I mean, we've seen tons of upsets, and that's what makes March Madness great. You're seeing these little schools beat the big schools, and certainly Oral Roberts has drawn the attention of a lot of people because their brackets have been torn up because they did so well. And so today we sent our sports team out to find out. Let us know what you know about Oral Roberts. Here's what Dave and Taylor found.
Hi, everybody. Welcome downtown Indianapolis on Georgia Street. Taylor, after tonight, we're down to the Sweet 16, and officially Cinderella has arrived to the party, and her name is Oral Roberts.
Yeah, the second 15 seed ever in the history of the NCAA tournament to make it to the Sweet 16. Here's the thing about these Cinderella teams, Dave. They come into these tournaments under the radar, not expected to stay very long, small schools, but here we are. I'm going to admit I didn't know anything about Oral Roberts before this weekend.
I knew very little, so we decided to go ask some fans. Do you know anything about Cinderella? Where is Oral Roberts located?
Oh gosh.
East, west, part of the country?
I couldn't even give you a good guess. I told you I'd never heard of them.
I do.
Oh, I think I do. I think I forgot too.
Yeah.
You can cheat. You can look off for some answers.
Tulsa.
Tulsa for $1 million. Do you know where it's located?
Oklahoma, right?
Oh, nice. What's the mascot?
Well, he was just quizzing me on this stuff yesterday.
You know what a Wolverine is?
Yeah, that's true.
This one flies, right?
Oh, is it a falcon?
I know it's some sort of animal. For some reason, I feel like it has to be something with a tooth, just because of Oral. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never
Oral
heard of
Roberts, the fighting teeth.
Gold Eagle.
Nice, 2 for 2. Do you know who Oral Roberts was?
I don't actually.
Kind of.
That was an easy quiz.
He was a soldier.
A soldier, good guess. Okay, so who was Oral Roberts?
Team that beat Ohio State. Yeah.
He what?
The team that beat Ohio State.
No, who was the guy Oral Roberts?
No, I don't know. That's my mistake. I don't know.
No, take a guess.
I'm thinking maybe like a pastor.
That's a great, he was an evangelist. All right, so I got to admit, I'm cheering now, cheering for the Golden Eagles. They might as well just ride this thing to the Final Four.
You always have to root for Cinderella once she comes into the story. They'll be playing here behind us at Bankers Life Fieldhouse next Saturday, taking on 3-seeded Arkansas. Going to be a good one.
Should be fun.
I tell you what, it was funny because as I was watching church on Sunday, my pastor, Dave Summerall, gets up and he's talking about the fact that he once played at Oral Roberts. So I know that at least the pastor of I-Town Church, Dave Summerall, is excited to watch Oral Roberts and cheering for them against Arkansas. We'll see if Cinderella continues to dance through the tournament.
Well, and they become so popular. Look at Butler from back in the day.
Oh, I know.
When it made a run and,
Right.
no one thought they would. Loyola,
Right.
for that matter,
Right.
another Cinderella that made quite a run. So it's fun, and
Yeah.
people remember.
Yeah, you bet. And another thing that people remember about this tournament, Big Ten teams haven't done real well. Michigan won today. So we do have Michigan in the, moving on. But
And that's a bad word in my house.
oh, really?
Because my dad, who's watching tonight,
Yeah.
hi, Dad,
Hi, Dad.
is an Ohio State grad. So, and he, I kid you not, wears Ohio State really top to bottom. And I think the first time I have seen him without Ohio State gear on was Saturday when we met them for lunch.
Yeah.
Because he was so upset about Ohio State losing.
One of our photographers, John DeWong, who was doing the camera work for Emily's live shot down there at Bankers Life. He's a huge Ohio State fan. And I saw him out in the parking lot. He was loading up some of the gear, and I said, "Hey, John, sorry about Ohio State." And he goes, "It's all right. We're a football school."
Oh, okay, well, he's got a good
So maybe
attitude.
your dad would feel the same way about that.
I think he likes everything Ohio State, though.
Okay. Well, tonight, as far as our big story, we're going to be taking a look at Hoosiers now 40 years of age and older now eligible. So if you are 40 and would want to get the COVID-19 shot, you can go ahead and do so by going to Our Shot at in.gov. That's where you get the that's where you get the COVID vaccine registrations, and you can go ahead and pick a location that is close to your home, or do like I did and find another county that has the vaccine that you are looking for. You can go ahead and register. Very easy to register, though I don't know how many appointments are still left out there. Also coming up tonight at 11, we're going to talk about the AstraZeneca vaccine. Of course, we've got the 3 that are currently out there, Moderna, the Pfizer, the one-shot J&J, and AstraZeneca may, in the next month or so, file for final emergency use approval with the FDA. And if that ends up being approved by the FDA, then we would have a 4th vaccine. But you may be talking and hearing a lot about some of the conversations about this AstraZeneca vaccine and some of the reports about blood clots in Europe. So we're going to talk about that with Dustin Grove tonight. That's coming up on 13 News at 11. So thanks so much for joining us here on Facebook. Angela, you got any final thoughts or any final comments from our Facebook friends before we say goodnight?
Yvette, her bracket is busted, and I told her.
I'm sorry, Yvette.
Yep, you're probably, you're one of
Line
many.
up,
one
line
of
up,
many.
Yvette, yeah.
And then Robert tried to make an appointment, was a month from now.
Oh,
so
gosh.
I did reply saying, did you try another area outside of where you live? So that's great advice, and that's how I got my first dose too, was outside of where I live.
Yep. That's that was the way I did. In fact, I live in Hamilton County. I ended up finding the IU Neuroscience building, which is right across the street from Methodist Hospital here in Marion County. Actually had quite a few when I signed up. I'll get my 2nd shot on Friday, and then be that much closer to be fully vaccinated.
If you're worried about driving downtown and trying to find a place to park, they have a free parking garage.
They do.
Right there.
They do.
So.
All right, well, Angela, good hanging with you on a Monday. We'll look forward to getting the rain tomorrow and getting your 7-day forecast coming up on 13 News at 11. Thanks so much for joining us, Facebook friends. Angela and I will see you tonight at 11 over on 13 News. Good night.